what it's from. So looking at the loading page for the chat. The one of Mac covering green goo, and he's like, I think that went well. I don't know what that's from anymore. I've forgotten.
We need our own what's it, Know Your Meme or something?
Exactly, yeah.
Some website that like tracks all the references now.
What event is this from?
Hello everyone, and welcome to Chat from the Deep, our weekly live stream post-session discussion. We talk about what just happened during D&D. This is the chat for session 39. I don't even know which map to be on right now because we saw both maps. You guys still haven't seen most of these maps. You haven't watched that session yet, please go do it because there will be spoilers. I'm your DM Eric, and joining me we have a Gottwald's player Chris.
Hello.
And Max player Raymond.
Hello.
I'm kind of sort of representing Big Nut this week, but I don't know if it counts.
Are those pistachios?
Are corn nuts nuts?
Corn nuts? I mean, nuts is in the name.
It's in the name, but I think it's just corn. It's just dried corn.
Oh, that's not as healthy.
No. It's chili lime corn nuts. They're tasty.
That does sound good. Yeah, so we talked about this a little bit last week, but I gave you guys 2 locations to check out, and then go to the closest one. This was the area I prepped.
So you didn't have the further one prepped?
No. Well, technically, both these locations are in Call from the Deep. They have maps, but the map art is just the black and white kind of sketch map stuff. So I had to fix all that. But then it also talked about how the entrance to the barrow was guarded by Fomorians who are being attacked by Chul. I literally that's straight from Call from the Deep.
Okay.
Now, so when we walked upon it, I don't think you used those words.
Which words?
Well, anyways,
being guarded by?
Yeah, the guarded by.
Knowing they were guards? I don't think we knew because they were just
no, you wouldn't know that. Right, that's part of the, which I appreciated that Ray was like, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? After we made it halfway through combat.
Right.
Like, what's the situation?
Hey, I was last on the initiative roll. I couldn't
Yeah.
That's fair.
Salvador went first and opened up with
radiation
the defining factor in that fight.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely dictated where the fight was going to be and dictated the fact that everybody's going to be hostile to you. So I will go ahead and reveal that had you guys played it very carefully, you could have allied yourself with the Fomorians.
I was wondering about that. Yeah, that's giant, but I kind of gave up. Yeah.
Now to be fair, at the very beginning, she did hesitate, and we all rolled like history checks, right? And I did reveal the fact that these are normally very cruel, evil creatures.
That's true. You did describe them as like having evil eyes and
right. However, like Ray said, I think it's fair that you could still play it on a case-by-case basis. Just because creatures are evil doesn't mean, hey, they won't temporarily help gang up on the creatures that you're fighting and all that. Now, it would have been a tricky situation, and you would have had to play your cards right, I think, to make that happen. But
yeah,
I think that totally would have been, that was something I had in my notes, basically. It was like, hey, the Chul are going to be hostile no matter what. The Fomorians, obviously, if they attack them, the Fomorians will be hostile. If they just kill the Chul, the Fomorians may hesitate and ask them pointed questions. It would have been very tricky, I will say, to get into the barrow without fighting the Fomorians. Yeah. But you could have at least done it a lot more to your advantage, which would have been to fight separately.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I purposely didn't want to tell you, and you didn't know the context of like, why are they guarding? Do they know anything about this site? Like you're just going in with limited information. You kind of have to make a call.
Yeah. I think it's like you said, it was going to be tricky to negotiate with them anyway.
Yeah. I'm glad we ended up fighting them because they are very fun stat blocks to run as the DM. They've just got a massive amount of hit points. They've got a huge attack with multi-attack. They've got that crazy long-range attack that forces a save for damage, and they can also do a debuff. Like, it really has like all the fun things you want a stat block to do.
This occurred to me while I was going to the bathroom between the end of the session and this.
It's all good thoughts, dude.
The way you handle long rest is normally fine. Like, I like it.
We should talk about this.
It's going to fuck me over here. Because if I spend more than 3 sessions with this curse, I'm going to start not having a good time. Because, like, I'm going to be, like, half speed, disadvantage on everything.
Yeah.
I was looking at that going, like, okay, fine, it's fine. But then when I get to the long rest part, I was like, oh, if Eric does what he normally does, which is we long rest basically at the end of the level.
Yeah.
it could be like 6 sessions before I actually even have a chance to get rid of it. And then I'm not going to roll a 14. Like the odds are not good that I roll a 14 because I got a +0.
Yeah.
So then is it another 6 sessions with this curse? So I don't know what the solution is, but I was just looking at that going like, oh God, I've got this forever, don't I? Like I'm never getting rid of this thing.
Well, yeah, I think I guess there's multiple answers to that. The first thing is that we could still have the curse time get triggered whenever you guys would go through days without necessarily getting the benefits of a long rest, but you could still argue that like, oh, every time enough days elapses, even if it's travel time, you can still make the save. Yeah. That would be my easiest solution. But the other thing to talk about is we could...
The actual learner cycles versus the mechanical long rest that you let us do.
Correct, yeah.
That would actually probably work.
Which there may actually be precedent for that. I'd have to come up with... Maybe like exhaustion might have worked like that.
That's how some magic items work. It's like every time the sun comes up, you get some
right, it's by dawn
back.
Or something. Yeah.
That might work, yeah.
Yeah, that'd probably be the first thing I'd go to. But
or you could have us find a remove curse scroll somewhere.
Yeah, that's very or somebody that can do that.
Or somebody that can do it, yeah.
Yeah, it usually doesn't come up very often. The long rest thing we can definitely talk about. I know that you mentioned it earlier, and it's fair to discuss that.
Oh yeah, just because actually the way you ended up handling it, I thought was great. But I thought you probably should have started with that instead of just saying like, I've just decided. But I know you just came up with it later. But like a narrative reason why we can't long rest.
Yeah.
Because when we were in the jungle, it made sense, right?
Yeah.
Like in the jungle, it was like, well, you're in the dangerous jungle. You got your what are they called? Like bed mats on the ground in the jungle. You could be attacked by anything anytime, so you're not getting a full good night's rest.
Yeah.
On a ship with beds and rooms, it doesn't make as much narrative sense.
Yeah.
I think the way you ended up handling it was fine. Just the like, oh wait, there's storms, so you guys don't get much sleep.
I mean, it is.
Bullshit. I don't know if you can, I don't know if you can always handle it that way, but yeah.
It's tricky. I mean, that's the whole. I think we've talked about this before. The whole balance of D&D basically comes down to the rest system, which if I were designing an RPG would not be based on that. I will say that.
Yes, but. This may be more work on your part, but I know I've done this too, where like in acquiescing to the way long rests work narratively, you just make things more difficult. Like you just say like, okay, well they're gonna long rest after this, so I'm just gonna ramp this one up, knowing they're gonna have a couple days of travel, so they're probably gonna want a long rest.
Yeah,
it gets rid of the attrition thing, but I mean, it makes them use more stuff in the fight.
Yeah, I have. I think it's okay to do that sometimes. I know players like it when they enter a fight going, okay, no, we're going to long rest soon. So we can just kind of go ham on this fight. But for like just... that makes me feel like when I read something that's like, oh, the solution not letting them long rest is to throw in counters at them so that they can't long rest that way. Because it's a dangerous area.
I don't like that.
And I'm like, I don't like that because that's just more work for the DM. So for you saying like, we'll just make the encounters hard, it's like, yeah, that's more fucking work for me. Like on the long run.
It is more work for you. Yes,
it makes combat take longer.
I don't necessarily mean more guys. I mean just make the guys tougher. Like make the guys like higher. Like and you can manually do that. You can manually just go like, okay, well instead of a +6, they have a +8. You know,
it does throw the class balance out of whack. The warlock becomes a lot weaker if you long rest all the time, and the wizard becomes a lot stronger.
That's true.
The fighter becomes weaker because of your short rest things. So, yeah, mechanically it's
sort of, but because so many of our fights are taking. I mean, I don't know if this is because you're balancing them so well. So many of our fights are doing so much damage to us, and we're using so many resources, even outside of the long rest thing. It would still benefit the warlock and the fighter because like I got 1 hit dice left, I think. I don't know how many more encounters we got today, but in this day before long rest.
Let me ask you this. This is we've done 39 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
I do track this stat. I don't like to reveal it until the end of the campaign for funsies, but we'll go over this now so you can. How many times do you think this party has long rested, and how many times do you think this party has short rested?
I think you do a pretty good job of keeping us to the two short rests per long rest. I think
I'm going to say 8 long rests.
we're level 9 though, so there's at least 9. Right? Because we have to long rest to level up.
That's a very fair point. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You undervalue.
I'm gonna say 11. I'm gonna say 10 or I'm gonna say 11. I'm gonna say 11 long rests. And I'm gonna say double that short rest. 20, 22 short rests.
But there's only been how many sessions? 30.
This is 30. This is session 39. We've had 39 sessions.
That math would mean we either long rested or short rested every session, which is not true.
That's true. That would also mean that we long rested every 3 sessions, which I don't think we have.
Well, I agree.
10,
It's every level up. So
yeah, but I think we've had at least a couple long rests that weren't level ups. It's more often than not it's a level up, but I think we've had at least a couple.
I'm gonna stick with 8.
I'll lower mine a little bit. I'll say 10 and 20.
Do you have a short rest number, Ray?
10.
So you're saying 10 short rests, 8 long rests. Chris, you're saying 20 short rests and
10 long rests.
10 long rests. All right. Chat, I don't know if you want to weigh in, but
Any guesses?
yeah, I have been keeping track of this fairly accurately, I think, because I do it every session. We have long rested 12 times.
Okay.
We have short rested.
My first guess was right. I think I said 11 or 12.
You're very good. Both of you are pretty close.
Yeah.
We've short rested 15 times.
Oh wow. Okay. I thought we were doing like 2 per, but you okay? I guess sometimes we're doing 1 per, like 1 and then 1.
Right. Which tells me I haven't even stretched that far on some of the adventuring days, so it's not even 2 short rests per long rest average.
But I don't think it's. I don't think that's the metric though, because if we long rest once and spend all of our hit dice, that's it, right? Like that is the extent of the day. So that would probably be correct. We haven't done it this time. Have we long rested twice this already? Just now.
You did have to long rest twice because you'd have to.
And then after the captain fight, yeah.
Actually, you guys technically short rested twice this session, didn't you? Then
we did.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to update it then. Sorry, we're at
16.
I only marked it. Yeah, we're at 16. I think this might be the first session.
We long rested twice.
That we short rested twice.
Yeah, or short rested.
Yeah, I've never had us do that more than once in a single session. So,
like I said, I think your rules, like 90% of the time, 85% of the time, work great. It's only when stuff like this happens, stuff that's like this lasts until your next long rest.
Yeah,
that's only when it becomes fucked up, because then it's like, well, I got 4 real life sessions, like, and that's a month of time,
right? No,
before we're gonna hit the next long rest.
Yeah, and I think I would.
That's the only problem.
Yeah. Well, and I think I've treated lingering injuries that way, where it's like, hey, you guys are traveling this far. If you want to do some lingering injury checks, you can, even though we're technically not long resting. So I don't have a problem with doing like exhaustion that way and your curse thing that way as well. So we can still track it for, estimate days of accruement or something.
Yeah. I think that would work. Just use actual in-game days. I think that's probably the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As for the long rest ship thing, I agree. There's not really good excuse for it. The excuse being that I just fall back on the travel rules that we've established, which in this case, it's not even that I'm trying to throw encounters at you guys. You guys are basically done with random encounters at this level.
Right.
Like, I'm really not interested in doing that. So unless it's like very like specifically scripted stuff. But it's that if you have like an area that I don't feel is a total adventuring day, although this one now feels like it because, again, I didn't expect a party member to walk away from a fight like that. I'm not complaining, Ray. I loved the situation. It just made that fight be more strenuous for the poor party.
Right.
So yeah, in hindsight, I could have let you guys probably long rest back there. Although even still, you guys were flinging off some powerful abilities in that fight.
I mean, I think that was Heather's highest level spell, right? That's her new one. the Radiance.
I don't
Her
know.
new one was the gravity sinkhole.
Gravity
Level
hole.
6. Oh, maybe that was her level 6. Yeah,
Does she have 4th level? Or she have?
I can't remember.
I'd have to look at her sheet.
Yeah, I don't remember what level the spells are. But those are the 2 new ones. She's using both now when she leveled up last time.
Yeah. Oh no, she's got that synaptic static she hasn't used.
Oh, okay.
She does have a 5th level spell slot. Yeah.
Okay.
But
But she's used her 6th.
She does not have a. What did she use a 6th?
Oh, I thought one of her new ones was a 6. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No, the sinkhole and the radiance are both 4th level spells.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
Yeah, but that was incredibly effective. Like, did so much damage, and I loved the combo, the wombo combo between. They spent. I think the 2 of you were like, "How do we knock this guy back in?" And then Toro was like, "Let me get into position and literally do the thing I do every single combat, and literally I'm built to just knock people back with so much ease." But yeah, if you can put somebody, I guess the other cool combo would be like a spike growth or something. But if you can put somebody with one of those AOE's that affects them when they move into it, and then keep pushing them into it. Especially on this one where it keeps compounding exhaustion like that.
I know, it's
that
great.
Was nuts.
It's amazing.
That was really powerful. I totally messed up the first turn, though. Somebody reminded me in the chat that when I swung and killed the zombie, I was like, oh, yeah, the Fomorians have a 15-foot reach with their club. I didn't have to fucking go through the zombies.
That's wild, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah, next Rochelle. That's actually what this reminded me of. Rochelle was a plant zombie for how many sessions was that?
Yes, her character straight up died. So there wasn't a good way to get around that. And well, the tricky thing about that situation is you guys were in a real time crunch with I guess spoiler alerts for
That's right. Yeah. We couldn't go to a city to like
there was like a WMD dragon taking off to go nuke cities. You guys were having to chase this thing down. It was like the one time where you couldn't just leave a dungeon and leisurely go to the nearest town and like revive her too. You had to be like for multiple sessions,
Yeah. And this is not as bad as that. That was worse.
Yeah.
That was like she was a sorcerer who had none of her spells. Or what was she? She was a monk.
Yeah.
She was a monk who had no access to none of her abilities.
But on the other hand, the only reason that she was you guys didn't have to carry a corpse is because there happened to be a fucking Myconid there who can zombify people.
That's true.
So it's really crazy.
I don't know how you would have gotten out of that situation if there had been a Myconid.
You're just carrying the body, I guess. I don't know. You're playing an NPC temporarily.
Right. Yeah.
There's not a good backup plans. Something.
I mean, what I'm thinking about, I'm like the actual mechanics. That doesn't bother me at all. What I'm thinking about is more like, what are the players do? Like, what is the actual person doing?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
In Rochelle's case, you give him an NPC. Yeah, exactly.
And you guys have a shipload now, so we can fall back on some ship NPCs. Yeah, so the map that only Raymond has seen so far is one that I put together with Roll20 with a bunch of Roll20 assets. Shout out to Gabriel Picard. On the Roll20 marketplace. I literally.
It's one of those where there's no actual inside.
No, there is, but it's that sketch map, black and white.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I duplicated it and just put assets on top of it and
really
kind of redid the map. Yeah.
That's cool.
So it will upset me greatly if Raymond is the only fucking person that sees the inside of this dungeon and just waltzed through and skipped like most of the rooms and made it to the south. As much as I enjoyed you fucking up my plans, I was also like, hi, is this supposed to be like a fucking a whole dungeon crawl that the party makes it through and you admire the artwork and the work that I put into this?
Yeah.
Max just like, nope, I'm dashing through this room, dashing through that room. Like,
I'm climbing on the wall.
You're climbing the wall. I'm like, oh my god. Wait, I did know you guys had the wall climbing ability. That's fine. But I was like, oh my lord, you're killing me.
Funny. It's just. It happens, but it is very funny.
I am otherwise pretty much running this dungeon very close to as written. Including.
Oh, really? I thought for a second you pulled the monster out of your ass to sort of save yourself.
I didn't actually. I swear to God, I didn't.
Okay.
Those of you who watch the crafting stream will know it's there. Which, would have been a pretty cool idea, though. I know Ray was really surprised by that motion, too. So I would ask you, what was your original plan before I did that? Because I remember that move threw you for a loop. Well,
I was gonna hide, but then because I failed my stealth roll, my plan was still to use the disguise hat to transform into Jarl before I realized he was a giant.
Yeah. It's like, nope, not that one. Nope, too big.
I know. Well, if Jarl was regular sized, I would have just popped up as Jarl and be like, "What are you doing here?"
Honestly, I loved your idea, and I thought that would have been amazing. But realistically, I had the same thought where I was like, oh fuck, he can't actually disguise as any of these because none of them
Yeah.
are gonna be physiologically very similar.
Josh's Ray's original plan was to find the hobbits.
It was the plan.
Where are the hobbits? I am here for the hobbits. Oh my god.
So I do want to go back to that part. Like, as we're coming onto this map, you describe a burrow, and so it's this big round looking.
Somebody roll the tape where I fucking hopefully I say the word.
I do think you technically like lawyer hat. I do think you technically you said burrow a couple times.
That I may
but
have.
what you described was a barrow. You described
I may have heard
mound.
Raymond say it and then infected me, but we'd have to go back.
As I said at the end of the actual session, I have not heard of a barrow before.
Yeah.
And so my mind could have turned it into burrow.
Yeah.
Every
Right.
time you said barrow.
You must be saying burrow.
You must be saying burrow. It's round. There's a single door.
Well, you gassed your way inside. I was like, yeah, that's something that you can do, I guess. You can enter the dungeon that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it might have, I was affected by your comment last time of us just steamrolling and killing for no reason.
Yeah.
So I was like, all
I
right,
appreciate,
what?
yeah.
Why are you doing it? So let me go inside this area that's guarded. Maybe I'll find a person or item that they're trying to get, and maybe I'll get it first, and then, that'll be it. Now I have a reason to participate or come back and help.
Sure.
But then, there's a tunnel or there's a hallway. So I was like, all right, well, there's nothing in the first room, so let's keep going.
Yeah.
The statues that were not traps, I think, obviously didn't stop me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was trying to look for something inside that they were guarding. I was like, okay, there's a reason for doing this.
Yeah.
Let's find out. And now I am part of the pirate crew, apparently.
Yep.
And
I'm pretty sure you found a way to resolve that situation without attacking them or fleeing, which is in my mind would be the only two options. Be like, okay, either I'm in a fight or I'm running away.
Honestly, Ray is the perfect one to stumble upon a group of
Yeah.
villains because if there's anybody who's gonna just talk him way into it.
Yep.
I did have you roll deception, but it wasn't necessarily to join their crew. It was to be like, all right, without you having to literally have them that you have to pay money or they tattoo you or they it was some kind of real cost because I didn't want to shut it down.
For that.
Because I wanted you to join the crew. I liked the idea, but I thought there needs to be some kind of a check here to avoid a big cost, basically.
I was ready to be tattooed.
Yeah.
Some of my hesitation when I was answering your question was like, I'm gonna be tattooed.
I was like, I'm gonna be fucking marked. It's it's gonna be some kind of forehead thing. This is gonna suck.
I mean, it's been but yeah, my plan was to be one of the other lords, and when you started shutting that down, nothing wrong with that because eyes wouldn't have fit. I was like, can I also be like Callus? Because I can't remember anybody's names. I'm like, all right, who in my memory can I transform into? I was like, Callus, but I don't think Callus is on good terms with these people.
Right. Yeah.
So that would have been a disguise.
Literally, Scummer attacked Callus along with you guys, so he was not.
Right. So yeah, I was like, I don't know any more NPCs. Screw it. I'm just gonna come out, and so I think it actually worked out perfect that little monster thing came down. I was like, all right,
that was your end, right?
Here's my chance. My other option was just run into the tunnel, but they've already know there's something suspicious, and it would probably be even worse if they come across me as I'm running from them. Yeah. So all right, coming out as Mac the Turtle, and
I think you helping them in a fight they were already in is your best case scenario.
Yeah.
That's the one situation which you don't come across as just enemy immediately.
Yep. Yeah. That's a good way to open up negotiations.
And look, one of their people died, so I can join easily. That's a spot for me.
I respected you when you didn't have a magic item to give. I was like, maybe you have a spell to cast, and I respected you were like, yeah, I can cast it. I was expecting Dark Vision, but Pass Without Trace, I forgot you could do as well.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that one you have to touch each person. I was ready to give up.
Touching these people.
Well, I've only have 3 spell slots, and then there's 8 of them. I know you're a hint with the torch, but
also when we inevitably fight these people, it's going to be more advantageous to us for them to not have dark vision versus them to have better stealth.
I mean, the stealth's really good. You're not going to find us, so.
Wait, have you actually defected?
They still have no idea you're in here. He never even opened the door.
No idea.
This fucking dunzo.
We're going to have to treat this the same way we treat like sessions where a player's not here, and the rest of us are going to be like, I guess they're around. Like, let's move on.
The time dilation is going to be really tricky. Go ahead, Ray.
I was going to say, you just got Cheese following you. And
yeah, what is Cheese do?
I guess that's a clue. Yeah.
Well, without commands, he just does whatever Drake does. So
he was just flying overhead, right?
Yeah, he'd probably just hang out with the crew, and if attacked, would dodge or help. But yeah, actually, he can't attack without a bonus action, so he would just do the dodge action and follow people.
All right.
Maybe eat lunch. I don't know. Yeah, I was about to. I'm glad you took the pass without trace. I was about to give up. I guess my next thing would have been that staff that I just got, the eel staff.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah, they would.
Here's a staff. Drop it. Oops, eel.
That would have been a great one to start.
No, actually, that's in my mind too. If I gave it to them, they're not attuned to it yet. And we are walking along like a little river, so
that's a cool idea.
That'd be good.
You just say the command word, and all of a sudden it's in his hand.
Yep. All of a sudden, everybody is shocked in that like 15-foot radius or whatever.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, there's actually a lot of cool possibilities that could happen here. But all of this is literally scripted from this area from Call from the Deep. This pirate captain is here. I slightly changed her crew around just to have more varied stat blocks, I guess. But she's making her way through the river. The cloaker straight up ambushes them. It even says that, like, hey, if the players don't intervene, the cloaker kills this one stat block before they kill it. Which it looked like it would have done more damage than that if not for Mac, frankly. Cloakers are pretty beefy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited that you made it very, very far down here. It's going to be a little tricky with the fact that the other party members are short resting while you guys are going down here. So yeah, we might have to do a little bit of time dilation. But even if we do that, like, you have no idea how far Mac made it through this fucking area.
Nope, we got no clue at all.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. I do like it when the party splits up, but it was funny that you can tell how much damage that Mac does with how much longer that fight took. Even though, if you noticed, I did still have the Chul and Giants fight each other even after they engaged with you, and that hurt me as a DM. It really hurt me because I know I've only got so many attacks.
Right.
And I want to go ham on the players. So, but I'm like, no, the Chuls would attack the Fomorians.
Again,
and then damn it, they're destroying them left and right.
I did find it funny that the Chuls attacked the Giants very well.
So effectively. Now, at the very end, I was able to attack you a few times and even paralyze you at the very, very end. So I was like, this is what they should have been doing the whole damn time.
The first time we saw that go off?
Yes.
The only reason I think I had I had a point of inspiration. The only reason I didn't use that because I was like, it's one Chul and I got two other teammates around me.
Yeah.
They're going to kill it before it does.
It had like 8 hit points.
Consumes my brain.
Yeah.
But if that had happened earlier, I mean, that would have been very scary.
Yeah.
Paralyzation, he's holding on to me.
That's what I'm saying. Like these things, and they had 2 of them in that boss fight 2 sessions ago.
Yeah.
Right? And those things like never attacked. But like think of that. Reese could have gone down there. One of them could have grabbed him and then tentacled him, and then he's paralyzed down there with 2 of them. Like,
yep.
It's crazy how bad I was rolling with those guys, even though they're pretty scary stat blocks if you look at just the stat block, but it just became almost a meme now where the poor Chuls just almost can't do jack shit. I was pretty proud of the Fomorians though. They did some work.
Yeah. They did, yeah.
That's
including turning me into a monster.
Yeah. It took me a minute
that
to
evil
figure
eye
out.
was pretty powerful.
I had to look at their stat block a couple times. We're like, okay, wait, how does this curse go off? And it's like, oh, I guess they just choose to trigger it whenever they do the evil eye, but they can only do it
someone
like
fails
once per
the evil
encounter.
eye.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, once. They said it like recharges after a rest or something.
Yeah.
Which how often do monsters rest? that was an odd
basically
wording.
just once per encounter is how I treat those abilities. I guess technically if they ran away and there was another fight another day or something, then they could do it again. But yeah, it doesn't really come up. So yeah, this is you guys both made it not as far, but also a lot farther than I expected, if that makes sense.
It does. Understanding what happened tonight,
yeah.
It does. It makes sense.
Some of you didn't make it very far, and the other person made it a lot farther than I thought you guys did. So I think we'll definitely be able to wrap this place up next session. I'm pretty sure.
Somehow.
I'm interested to see what happens.
Yeah.
I am too. You guys got a new party now. So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes down.
Which way will Matt go? Will he truly join the Pirates?
I like that you're in so deep where you're like, I just got to ride this thing out and see how far it goes. And hopefully the party will get here at some point. Hopefully we can work the timing out where the party can show up at the dramatically appropriate moment.
Right. At what point does Mac drop the deception? Is it a deception? We don't know.
We don't know. He's like, guys, I'm sorry. I gotta go back.
Mac starts shooting at us.
I gotta go back with the Stormfade now.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard the words I said, you know.
Yep.
I've already got my resume. I'm just practically there. All right. Anything else about this? Go ahead.
The chat. So this is another Brazier situation. The Burrow Barrow.
Barrow, our mausoleums.
Yeah, exactly.
It happens. This one led to an absolute amazing situation, though, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I think that'll do it for this week's Chat from the Deep. Thank you to Chris and Raymond. Thank you to all the fans for watching, and we will see you next time.
See you next week.
Bye.